Welcome to this explainer. I am so incredibly thrilled you're here today. Look, if you share your home with a dog, you probably think you know exactly how they see you, right? You likely figure they see their owner, maybe their favorite person in the whole world, or just their best friend. But the truth? The truth is actually far more extraordinary than that. I'm telling you, everything you think you know about your relationship with your dog is literally about to change.
So, what does your dog actually see when they look at you? Well, most owners have absolutely no idea, which means they're missing out on something incredibly profound that's happening right in front of them every single day. We're going to unpack the actual hard science behind that gaze today, and I promise you, the reality of what you represent to them is just staggering. All right, let's dive into this.
To really understand what they see, we have to start at the beginning. Section 1, the evolutionary foundation, 15,000 years in the making.
15,000 years. Over 15,000 years of living alongside humans. You know, you might have heard that old joke that cats basically just think you're a big, clumsy cat, just another member of their colony. But definitely don't make the mistake of thinking your dog views you the same way. Dogs did something cats never did. Over those thousands of years, dogs didn't just learn to tolerate us, they evolved an entirely separate set of social behaviors specifically and exclusively for us. Scientists call this the human-canine bond, and honestly, it's unlike anything else in the entire animal kingdom. Across thousands of generations, they've been hardwired to seek you, to trust you, and to attach to you. You aren't just a pack member to them, you are something way closer to a lifeline. To put this into perspective, think about the work of cognitive scientist Brian Hare over at Duke University. He spent his whole career studying just how unique this hardwiring actually is. He found something so simple but so crazy. If you point at an object, your dog will naturally follow your finger to look at it. But our closest primate relatives, chimpanzees, they do not do this. Even a wolf that has been raised entirely by humans from birth doesn't get this gesture. But your dog? Your dog inherently understands the language of human intention. They didn't just learn to live around us, they literally evolved to understand us.
Moving right along to Section 2, Scent, Separation, and Stress, the Neuroscience of Absence.
You know that routine, right? You pick up your keys to leave the house, and immediately your dog's ears go up. Maybe they pace around a bit, whine, or just sit there staring at the door long after you've left. We've always just casually called this separation anxiety. But what is biologically happening inside your dog during those hours they're alone? Well, researchers who tracked dogs left alone found that within mere minutes of the owner leaving, the dog's heart rate shoots up and stress hormones spike into this state of low-level alert. But get this, when those same researchers played a recording of the owner's voice, the dog's stress levels dropped almost instantaneously. And the kicker? It wasn't just any human voice that worked, it had to be the owner's. Their nervous system is quite literally tethered to you.
And this brings us to an absolutely wild study out of Emory University that perfectly captures this connection. Researchers showed dogs various scents while actively scanning their brains. Out of everything they tested, and I mean everything, only one single scent triggered the activation of the brain's reward center. That's the area associated with love, pleasure, and positive anticipation. And that scent? It was yours. It wasn't food, it wasn't another dog, and thankfully it wasn't the garbage they always try to dig in. It was exclusively you. They aren't just sitting around waiting for you to come home. They are physically holding on to you with literally every biological tool they have.
Which leads us to Section 3, the left gaze bias, reading the micro.
Okay, let's break this down for a second, because this is one of the strangest and most fascinating discoveries of all. When you look at another person, your eyes naturally drift to the left side of their face first. This is called the left gaze bias. It happens totally automatically because the right side of the human brain processes emotion, and that side controls the left side of the face. Humans specifically evolved this trait so we could efficiently read each other's emotions. And here is where it gets absolutely mind-blowing. Dogs do the exact same thing. But, and this is a massive but, they do it exclusively for human faces. When they're shown images of objects or even faces of other dogs, they don't do it at all. They only use the left gaze bias for us. Basically, they adopted a specifically human-directed way of reading emotion. This is exactly why your dog can distinguish between happy and angry human microexpressions, even in photographs of total strangers, without any training whatsoever. They are reading your face with a level of precision that took 15,000 years to develop. Your dog is likely reading your face much more carefully than your closest human friends do.
All right, let's pivot to Section 4, a secret tail vocabulary, the bidirectional tail.
We need to completely debunk a massive misconception right now. Most people think a wagging tail simply means a happy dog. It's just a reflex, right? Nope. Wrong. Scientists have discovered that a tail wag is actually a highly complex biological language. It's not just about if they wag, it's about which direction. Let's decode this really quick. When a dog sees a positive trigger, like, say, you walking through the front door, the wag skews to the right. But when they face a stranger, or maybe they realize it's bath time, the wag skews to the left. And height matters too. Held high and fast means confidence and excitement, while low and slow signals submission or appeasement. The simple direction and height of the wag actually function as a complete biological sentence. They are constantly talking to you.
And this isn't a learned behavior either, it is completely instinctual. Researchers in Italy found that dogs can inherently read these really subtle directional wags in other dogs. When test dogs were shown videos of other dogs wagging to the right, they stayed totally calm and relaxed. But the moment they watched dogs wagging to the left, their own heart rates automatically increased. Their bodies were physically responding to the visual signal of anxiety. This is a built-in vocabulary they were born with.
Okay, let's slow things down just a bit for Section 5, the biology of bonding, the chemical climax, because there is one final discovery that ties this whole thing together beautifully. Back in 2015, there was this landmark study published in the journal Science that compared two very specific bonds. They found that when a mother and her newborn baby lock eyes, it triggers a massive surge of oxytocin in the brain. If you don't know, oxytocin is basically the brain's ultimate bonding hormone. Well, astonishingly, the study revealed that when dogs and their owners simply gaze into each other's eyes, both the dog and the human show a significant rise in that exact same chemical.
I really want you to let that sink in for a second. This isn't just human sentimentality, you guys. It's not just pet owners projecting human emotions onto an animal because we love them. No, this is a scientifically documented biological loop. It's a neurochemical feedback cycle of bonding that your dog triggers simply by looking at you and that you return just by looking back. Your dog's brain literally releases the exact same chemistry that humans use to bond with their own babies. How incredible is that?
So all of that evolution, the uniquely tailored facial reading, the specific physical response to your scent, the highly detailed tail vocabulary, it was all building toward this one thing. Your dog does not just tolerate you. They don't just see you as a giant can opener or a source of food. As the research so perfectly puts it, they see the one presence their entire biology was built to find. You are the scent their reward center lights up for. You are the face their eyes evolved to read.
They are neurochemically wired to you in a way that is just utterly unique in the natural world. Knowing all this, knowing about the thousands of years of evolution, the biological feedback loops, and the precise chemical devotion happening right behind those eyes, how will you look at them now? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer today. Keep learning, keep loving your dogs, and I'll see you next time.